Welcome to a trade watch. In this video, basically I'm going to talk about my thinking to this potential trade that I'm waiting on Apple. And I'm going to go to my thought process and my analysis, how I identify different zone and what I looking for to trade Apple. First, start off with this volume profile chart. Essentially, I have a daily volume profile. And each one of these candles is also 30-minute. And right now, I essentially have identified various zones. And let me go to, first of all, is the expected range. This expected range is based on various calculations that different traders might be using the option prices and also some strategy to calculate this expected range. I essentially combine a lot of those different methods and come up with a range to sort of target that as a possible price target for a certain amount of time period. And right now, I'm basically looking for a 1 week time period. This range here essentially is a composite because if you take a look at this price action here, is sort of basing. So essentially, what I'm doing here is to get a composite volume profile, or some people call it micro composite. And I basically just want to set up a composite using these price range. And as you can see that there is a high volume area here, right? This concentration of volume right here in this profile here. So basically I just kind of mark that off and use that as a zone, right? This zone here. So I'll mark this off. And essentially, you're looking for price to break, above or below that zone. And if the price is below it or above it, looking for it to come back into the zone. Okay, so that's basically what I got here. Then the other thing is, let me take this off because I already marked it off. And also the other thing is, we also notice that there is this what we call the naked POC or the virgin POC, and that's the point of control of that market profile that has not been touched or has not been back tested yet. So that's why we call it a naked POC or virgin POC. And usually those POC will get touched or back tested eventually. And usually it's in a short period of time. But there are some that take quite a while. And that's this one down here. You see this virgin POC, or we call it VPOC. And right here that basically is you see that there's a high volume area here also, and this is a P profile, right? One of the P profile characteristics is short covering, and also we see that there are a lot of volume in here. And usually after a short covering, if there is no continuation of buyer coming in to push the price higher, then it usually will retrace back, because once after we got the short cover all the position, then essentially it will fall back down unless we have buyer, new set of buyer pushes back up, continue to push the price higher. And in this case, we did, because we saw there was a gap up here, and then it pushed up here and then consolidated in this area for 4 days. And now on last Friday, it kind of pushed back down. And today, with Apple's event, the WWDC, there was a couple of new products introduced. We saw the price come back down. Here's the other thing. I also have the lower expected range, but right now I'm not looking at the lower expected range to set up a trade because I'm not looking on the downside. I'm not planning to short Apple. I'm basically looking to long Apple and via some option strategy. So here's what I'm going to do, and I kind of spelled out here. I'm basically looking for the price to come down to this zone here. Right, this high volume area, to see would it be able to find support. In other words, would it get a bounce back up? It could come down to this zone and it could continue to move down, like I have on this, this arrow here. So basically, I'm looking for the price to come down and see would it get a bounce back off, from this zone here. It could, come down, hack the POC, this version point of control, and then come back up. So when it does, that's basically where I want to go long. And my target is essentially this VPOX here, up at somewhere around 151. So basically I'm targeting 150 sort of a little, front running a little bit, then ultimately it would be up at this 156 area because I also have a long point of control here, version point of control up here. And also you can see that there is this high volume zone here also. So that's basically where the ultimate target is. But I'm going to be front running this 150 and possibly, have a runner to run up to that 156. So it all depends how's the option strategy play out and what the timing is. Right. So that's basically what I'm trying to do. And the stop will essentially be below this area here because if I expect the price to bounce and move up, I did not expect the price to come down, break below this zone here. If it does, then I would say that I'm wrong in this trade here because the price is not going to bounce. And maybe it does, maybe it chop around and it bounce, but that will be a different trade at that point. Because once I get in on this trade here, get up on the side and then it start to come back down, that would be my stop and I will take the loss and get out. Right? So essentially that's what I'm playing for right now is to see would it come down here, get a bounce, push, then we go long and target 150 and possibly get a runner to throw it up to 156. All right, so that's basically the way to play it. And also on the downside here, if you want to play short, we'll talk about a short if it come down here. Then this is the that low, the recent low that we saw down here at 134. So you can see that there is a high volume zone here. And also this is the version point of control, the VPOX. Okay, so that's what I'm doing right now is kind of keeping an eye on the possibility of coming down to this area here around 144. And if it get a bounce up here, then I will go long. All right, I hope that will kind of give you some idea of what I'm looking at. Let's go and take a look at SPY. I also, set up a similar type of analysis on the SPY. So let's go and take a look at the SPY, the ETF for the SP500. Now here's the SPY. Similarly, did the same thing. Go and establish what the expected range would be. So we're going to look at this expected range for the SPY. I'm targeting 420. And here is the composite, the micro composite here that I'm doing and using these prices here. Essentially, when I did the analysis, it was on Friday. All right, so I got these, these prices down here. So I'm looking at this composite. So that's the composite. This is the Monday. And here is that volume area that I'm looking at, the value area that I'm looking at. Okay, so I basically block that off. And here's that micro composite point of control here, somewhere around 411.50. Okay, so we're gonna remove this so it doesn't clutter up the chart here, since I already got this put on here. Now I also got another composite, a huge composite, but we won't look at that. So I'm gonna take that off so it doesn't clutter up the chart here. So here we have a naked point of control from today. That's Monday. So that's not what we're concerned with right now, because when I did this analysis, it was on a weekend. So again, here's this zone here, got a version point of control, high volume zone. All right, so I set up this zone. Essentially, I'm looking for a price to come down to this level here, this VPOX. Okay, so it will be somewhere around 406. Right, so if you look at this, it's 405.80. So essentially, we're looking at this 406 to somewhere around 404.75 or so. Okay, so that's basically what we're looking at is for this thing to come down. All right, see would it get a bounce up, and then if it does, that basically targeting. We're basically targeting this this version point of control here. That would be last Friday. Okay, and that is somewhere around 415. Okay, so we're essentially front run at 415 and change. So we're gonna target 415 and it trailed up to the expected range somewhere up at the 420. So that's the idea. So I hope that kind of gives you some idea how I use volume profile and identify some of the potential support and resistance, and also entry and exit and target level. So if you have any question or have any comment, just post them in the comment section below and I will try to answer them as soon as possible. I hope you found this to be informative and useful, and don't forget to smash the thumbs up to help me promote this video on YouTube. Thank you for watching and stay safe.